Welcome to Book Talk. I'm Winston. I like to read good books, and you should too. Today we are talking about The Sojourners by Catherine Gruben Smith. This is dystopian, steampunk, apocalyptic, sci-fi fantasy. Heavy on the sci-fi, light on the fantasy, in a world of black hole lasers, and I love it. I love the Sojourners world. I love the characters that Katie has written. I love everything about this series. The basic premise is that there was a fantastic catastrophe in the past where people were messing with black holes and lasers and dark matter, and it all went and the world was fractured. But books survived. Books survived. And these books have become the foundation of the fractured kingdoms. Presumably we're in North America. It's definitely post-apocalyptic Earth. North America seems like the best fit. But talking to Katie, I think she mentioned that the land masses were shook up a bit as well. So, there it is. So what has happened is that the different nations of the world have each seized upon a book, and they have made that book the foundation of all of their laws and all of their society. And sometimes that can be fairly innocuous. Sometimes that can be really oppressive, and sometimes it's really uplifting. Now, the Sojourners, the story opens with an assault on the Sojourners' kingdom where their book gets stolen, and our main characters are plunged into a quest to save their book and save their world. The Sojourners' kingdom was based on the Bible. It's not. It doesn't say specifically which version of the Bible. That's not really that important, but it's based on the Christian Bible. And so our main characters view, as they travel around the landscape, they view each other kingdom through that lens, and there's a really effective theological and philosophical contrast between each kingdom they go to and the Sojourners' kingdom and the kingdoms outside in themselves. Some of the more memorable kingdoms are Geatland, which is based on Beowulf. They had a copy of Beowulf that survived, and so they've taken that to be their foundational book. There is the Communist Manifesto is the foundation for I can't remember all of the names of the kingdoms, and I didn't have a cheat sheet prepped. So there's a communist kingdom based on the Communist Manifesto. There is Storyland, which is based on the book Ducky's Pond, where everything has whatever meaning you think it has at that time. And if that meaning is different for you an hour from now than it is now, that's okay. Of course, we have a book that's based on the Quran, or a kingdom that's based on the Quran. We've got a kingdom that's based on a conglomerate of New Age philosophies, and it's just wild. Katie has put so much effort. Las Vegas. I want to say it's in Las Vegas, where they run into the world, the kingdom that is based on Thus Spake Zarathustra by Friedrich Nietzsche. And Katie has put just so much research into each of these books so that there is consistency throughout and an honest representation of them throughout. And the result is this wild journey through these massively different points of view, these massively different representations of the world, and all from the point of view of our heroes, the two surviving kids of the leader of the Sojourners' kingdom and the two that rescued them. Joe, who is a genetic incomplete. He's mute. He can't speak. He speaks in sign language. And Kobo, who is a chimera, has had animal genes spliced into his human genes, or possibly human genes spliced into his animal genes. It's that part is not perfectly clear, and it's purposefully not perfectly clear because Kobo is as much of an important character in the book as anybody else, and more human than some of our villains are. But Joe is our hero. Joe is the tortured soul who, because he is mute, is branded as a genetic incomplete and just persona non grata almost everywhere he goes. But he uses that to his advantage to be the Raven. All of the books are Raven themed. Raven's Ruins is book 1. Raven's Rescue is book 2. Raven's Returns, book 3. Raven's Refuge is book 4. Raven's Raid is book 5. And book 6 is forthcoming, which is supposedly the end of this particular cycle. But this is a fantastic glimpse of a world that is fully realized and lusciously described, and these kingdoms that are well thought out and just put forth things worth thinking about, worth chewing on, and worth bringing back with you when you put it down and thinking, okay, you know what? This goes beyond the story. I love these books. I can't wait for the last one. That is Raven's Ruin, the first book of the Sojourners. Your assignment then is to go find a good book, read it, and when you're done with that, come on back here because there's more book talk yet to come.